Hi traders, welcome. So you want a strategy for this indicator, the FTU support resistance. We'll call it the FTU SR. Now I'm going to show you a 1-minute strategy along with another indicator that you can use. And the key is to look at how these lines will support your entry to avoid trades when price is basically becoming overextended. See, like somewhere up here. Now without these lines you wouldn't know that from this point avoid any more buys once you've crossed a full length line. See, if we're doing sells over here it's fine, but once we've hit this point, notice how price bounces off of it. So we're going to have a look at a setup for that, and this being the 1 minute, it's for intraday traders, really only for products that you can scalp with or low spread really. So we're looking at Nasdaq, gold, perhaps the DAX, Bitcoin depending on the broker, and then we're going to show traditionally what this is used for, which is the 4-hour on the 3-minute, 4-minute, and the 15-minute with daily. So let's get into this. Now traders, if you don't mind, I'm just going to add this in to most of my videos. I really think we need to stick together in the future trading, because conditions are going to get tougher, and I'm starting to see things like broker comparison sites and generally brokers misbehaving. Now I've got this list of broker comparison sites from prop firms, so I'm going to cover comparison sites, these ones here, more in detail, and why basically we've got a serious problem because we can't trust any of them. And that's more importantly for new traders. You know, so many, even 1, 2, 3-year-old veteran traders, newbies, everyone is always still edgy about what brokers are doing and who's reliable. So yeah, we're going to go into each of those in detail, as well as signal providers. That's a big one. Going to be a big video on that. Okay, so Nasdaq 1 minute. Now we're looking at buying at full length lines, bottom point, and selling at the upper ones. The color indicator is freely available. It is Sonic PVA candles. I'm sure you could find it online, and I've left it as standard, or I've just changed the colors a bit. Now 2 greens and 2 reds effectively. So when it's purple or red, it means seller pressure with range bar. When it's green, it's buying pressure with range bar or volume, either or both. So here's a buy, and we're also going to count 5 bars over as exhausted or exit. So that's an easy win. Okay. Now this is the open of the US session, or news rather. That's a news event right there. 16:30 for me. This is the US opening here. So this is a news bar, so you rather want to pause for a minute or two and notice the greens. We don't sell on these greens, this one, this one. Now we've already had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For each color, delay entry for 2 bars. So you have a color bar, wait to see the next 2. So there's still more color, more color. Alright, delay 2, 1, 2. So you can sell here, but notice it's closed 5 times, 5 bars, which is 5 minutes. And that's just the strategy I'm giving. You can find your own. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this line is done. Now we have almost 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you're going to get first target there. And what I do is I do 2-part trades. So if I did a buy here and a buy here, and I close the first one, say there, making 14 points, I then move my stop loss back for the other trade around 14 points. So we just have this one trade running with the stop loss there, and then close out at your next desired target. Now I'm not going to give target 1s and 2s to you or your stop loss, but initial stop loss always start with something way down here. Again, check your volatility. You need another strategy for that. I can't give that to you as well. But you can't basically trade with a 0.5% stop loss every day. Some days it needs to be way bigger. some days less. Okay, so here we had first target, stop loss was sitting here, then got taken out. In this case, you can see prices approaching, and very quickly how this line will change. We're on 20 December. Let's see what we got today. Okay, here we have all these short lines, right? 1 minute bars, busy trading. They're all short right now. They're only going to start to show full length as price moves along. And if you open the data window, look at the ATR 1000, it's using that as a calc. So it's roughly 80 points. 80 points means the average per hour, because we're using the 1 hour here, see? 1 hour. And these settings leave them the same. That's basically 80% of that value. So if it's 100, it would be 80 pips. Again, so if this ATR is saying 100, where you see how it's changing, 60, I call that 60, 67, 70, 75. Why is it increasing? Because we're in the US session. So notice how it's lowering as we get into Asia. Lowers. And then starts increasing as volatility increases. So these are 1 hour sessions. You can see we're starting there at 1700 and it ends on the last bar, 1759, new 1 hour session. So this wasn't a full length line until it was 80% of that value. So we're looking at 75, 60 points maybe. Oh, yep, definitely. But from here, maybe. Could have been. It's hard to say in backtesting, obviously, which is a full length line. You can go run this on the simulator and you'll see. So I'm trying to show in real time. Now, based on the settings, this goes for about 4 bars. So in the first 4 or 5 bars, you won't know which is full length. Somewhere from around here, the shorter lines will stay short. I think it's already started. Yep, it has. See, notice these two have stayed short. Why is that? Because the distance of price from here to here is only 50 points. Once it gets to 80% of 80, let's call it 60 pips, give or take. So we measure 60 from here, that's somewhere here. This will start to catch up and stay full length, and it'll remain full length as these will, because from here we're already beyond 60 pips. So these are going to continue to draw as these have all the way across. So if price gets up to here, you don't want to sell. You want to sell at that level. Let's go back to 20 December. Okay, so here we were. At this point we knew this was not a full length line. Look, we still have a high value ATR, it's 80 something, so 60 points. So 60 points from the opening, which was that bar. That's only 30, and that's just over 60. So trust the calc. It's going to draw full length for you. So this is why we bought here and not at that line. That was our first buy, hit first target, easy win. So we were roughly here. So you're going to sell off this line, but then you notice the color bar. So you want to try and exit near as possible. Don't have to wait to come all the way back, just try and lose a few pips. Then wait 2 bars, 1, 2, and you can sell again. So this first target, that's a decent run as well. Maybe a win, depends how much you're aiming for. But it's definitely a good trade there. So basically 2 here. Here you see a color again. So we would have sold off this line. 17. Yep, so that's a sell there. I'm going to get first target, move your stop loss here. And then again, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 bars have closed over this line. So this one is done. Don't keep trying to look for sells. This one's done. Try and sell at the next level. And we're only doing these 3. You can have more if you do the resistance 4, 5, but I suggest not. If it's broken above, it's likely you could just scream on up. Now, that's ultimately that strategy. Let me briefly go into what I could suggest as a secondary option with our other indicator called the QQ. I've probably named it something else, QS arrow. Now it's got 2 features. I've got both on at the moment. alert on level and crossover. So the arrows are more frequent. There's up arrow, down arrow. As you can see here, up, down, up, down, up, down. So on a low time frame, I wouldn't trade them. In this case, a 1 minute. But do the crossovers. And notice the full length lines again. So here's your down arrow, you're waiting for it, down crossover. That's the thumb. This one is doing the crossover on level, the gray and the gold. So you see when prices crossed over here, that's why it's gone for a sell there, and that's a win. But you see how there's quite a few swaps here, but you're only looking for buys, so you would buy and then try and exit, buy, then try and exit. And ultimately you'd buy again there, and you'd be getting somewhere. And only take the first one. If you have a buy here and it's running, don't try and keep looking for buys again. I would do one direction per day. If you have a buy and you have a win, don't keep looking for buys. Now, it does draw a lot of objects in the background so you can see the cursor. Something we'll work on with that QS arrow. So here's a down arrow, and you wait for this one. That's going to be first target. Maybe you came back and hit your other part of your trade, and you were in a buy here. Now here you're going to lose 22 points. You can see the arrows behind there, so you'd go into a sell. Then the arrow changes, so you don't, oh yeah, when there's an arrow change, you can either just exit or swap direction, as in go long. But then you can start this whole swap cycle where you lose 20 and then another 20. So perhaps just exit and wait for the next setup. You know, that crossover only occurred there and didn't happen until much later. Oh, here was the up one. So yep, you could have made back your loss from here, because here you had a 20-point loss and another 15, so that's 35, and here you make it back. Here's an entry for a win. I'm sure there's one where I wanted to show you. Oh, and quickly on the previous strategy I was showing, notice this area of consolidation where price doesn't move much. Look where our full length lines are. They're up there and down here. So the first strategy I'm showing, you don't do any trades. You're waiting for the full length lines. There's a long period of time, no trades. It's good. Where some strategies get caught in consolidation, here we're not doing anything because we're waiting for a full length line. Maybe over here you're buying, but notice the color changes to red, so you have to be cautious and pause. Sell off that point, sell off there, get target one. So back with strategy 2. Here's your entry. See, if it's only 6 points, it's early in the morning. This is UK just starting. So maybe you're looking for slightly more there, but notice the arrow changes, so you exit, no loss. You probably buy again there. Now, I would likely suggest going to maybe the 2 minute on this one. There's a heck of a lot of changes there. So we have an up arrow here. First, let's see if there's a win here. Down arrow, waiting for a down cross. Here it is. That's 15 points. Then you move your stop loss there, so that's a win. Okay, so now you're doing the up. Let's zoom in because this gets quite choppy here. You do a buy. If there's an opposite crossover, you just wait for it to come back a bit and exit. Otherwise, there's a 20-point loss. Oh, and you go short because both are down. 12. You recover your 20. Now there's an up, a down cross, wait for it to come back. And here's an example where you don't want to sell down here. Why? We've crossed full length lines. Don't sell. But you can do the buy here because it's a new 1 hour session. Now, Also notice the levels will move further away. So I'm just going to take notes of these two here on the 2 minute. And notice on the 1 minute they're a little bit further in. So the higher the time frame you go, the further out the lines are going to go. And they may not even print at all. This is 3 minute. Look, we don't even have lines there. So definitely 1 and 2 minute when we're doing the 1 hour. So this is really scalping kind of territory. But we're not scalping a couple of pips here. I mean, this entry over here, here's the buy. So here's the signal for a buy. We take this one. We're waiting 5-10 minutes here. This 20-point target. And then your stop loss was sitting here, so that's a win. I think this tick was for our 1 minute off the level. See, right off the level. Bing, sell there. And notice you don't buy here because there's a color bar approaching, so we wait 2 bars after each. 1, 2, and now we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars close over this level. 2 minute. Let's go back to this system. It's pretty interesting. Oh, there's a win. See, here's a good example of what I mean by using the first trade. Okay, so we have a down arrow. It means we're waiting for a down cross, which is over there. But now we have up arrow, up cross. Okay, so we exit here. Down cross, but we're waiting for a down arrow. So we're basically waiting for both to confirm. There's going to be a first target somewhere here. 15 points, and you move your stop loss back. Remember, originally your stop loss is sitting somewhere up here. You're risking 0.2 to 0.5% per trade because you're going to get 10 wins a month. Sorry, 10 a month per pair. So if you're risking 0.4, you're going to make 4% per product. You could do 3 products with the one strategy and easily 3 with the other. So if that was first target and that's your stop loss now, which you moved from way up there to down here for the other trade. There's our stop loss sitting there because we're aiming for something like 0.5. Yet we get it later. That means we ignore these cells over here. This one over here. But we'll take this buy here and get first target, move stop loss. Don't sell again here, we already have the other one running. It also lowers the amount of trades. Here's the up arrow, waiting for the cross. Yes, you can take it, hit first target. What's it going to do? Nope, comes back and gets you. Okay, new day means you can trade both directions. This might be too early for some. But that would be a win. Unless you get started here at 8 in the morning, yeah, many would. So you'd firstly pick up a 15 loss. And this is going to be another small loss, 10 points. Yeah, I think you can see the potential here. So quickly I'm going to go and change this to, firstly remove this indicator. I'll show you traditionally what we use this for, which was 4 hour. Some of this is much tougher on the MT4. You don't have all the time frames. The 1 minute would work. The 2 minute you're going to struggle. And I don't have that indicator for MT4. The one I just deleted, the QS arrow. So we're now using 4 hour, which is going to be 3 minute or 4 minute. Same principle, same rule applies. See how there's these color bars? We don't buy, we wait for 2 or 3 after each color. So we're only going to buy, well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no buy. Going to be a buy down here though. What is this, a news bar? Yeah, maybe you didn't buy, but look, I bounced off that level. So maybe you sold here, but then again, 1, 2, 3, 4, small loss. Very good example. If you buy here, at this full length line. Notice the color bar. You want to exit ASAP and then wait 1, 2, and you buy here, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 have closed over. Exit that. If you increase to like a 4 minute, then don't do 5 bar close over, do slightly less bar close over. See, it gets up to the level. So the same thing as if you had a buy set up, good point to target. Price is going to go and touch that full length line. We often get bounces off of this line. Look at that. Bounced right off the line. And that's what the color bars are useful. Giving you caution. What is this? The start of, yeah, US session starts here. Wow, that'd be a buy there. That's a quick win, 1%. Well, so after each color we delay 2. There's a color, there's a color, there's a color. 1, 2. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4 close over. So literally in 3 minutes time you're going to exit the trade no matter what happens, because you've already had 4 bars close over. So boom, you hit first target, second target. And don't buy again down here. But obviously you've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this line is toast. Almost got up to this line for a sell. Bounce, bounce. Okay, and then lastly, one more thing to show you is even the 4 hour doesn't work well on all brokers. I'm looking at Handtech here. Use Handtech and Pepperstone. They seem to have the best time servers. Again, for the 1 hour, when you're using 1 minute or 2 minute, it doesn't matter. But when you're using a 4 hour or the daily, which we'll also show shortly, the daily, any of the others is really up to you. It's quite exotic. But the daily, I use the 15 minute or 30 minute. And brokers like AvaTrade, they have Sunday data, so that markets open at a couple of hours into Sunday. They trade for a few hours, then they start their Monday. So the Monday, let's go have a look. I must have a chart here somewhere, because that's oil. Oh, but this is Handtech. Handtech is fine. See, each day, this is the 15 minute. See, it's just a higher time frame, but notice how it's respecting these support lines. Look at that bounce off that one. It would be the same thing. You just apply the same rule of buying at the line, caution when there's an opposite color bar. So you would have bought here, price bounced up, you got 20 points, maybe a stop loss down here, and there's a win. Almost a sell off there. So notice here we don't sell because there's a green, so we delay 1, 2, another green, delay 1, 2. No problemo. Oh wow, look at that sell up there. So we have a green bar here and here, so we delay 2, 1, 2, again delay 1, 2, sell right at the top, boom, right to here, buy. Alright, there you go. You can use it on multiple time frames, and there's wins all over the place. It's a great strategy, a great indicator. Just use some sort of counting method. When a certain amount of bars have closed over, that line is exhausted. It's going to go to the next level. And I wanted to show the, well, this is the 15 minute with the daily. That's what I wanted to show you. A lot of good examples. You can go and back test. Again, the full length line is not going to be full length here. You've got to use the data. See, that's 160. And look, I keep it the same. It's on 80%, always the same. So it wouldn't have been full length there. It would have been full length when price was somewhere here. So you could still sell off there theoretically, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't use these lines. I'd wait for that one. So the lower time frames, you're going to get more entries. You could get a win a day. Daily 15 minute, I would use for very long term if you're looking for positional. And hopefully you get one in your direction. See, look, there's a sell right up there. You can tell. And then notice how long you can hold it for. So if you're selling up there, you're getting much bigger targets. So just be cautious with some brokers that have Sunday data. Their 4 hour time is going to be off. It doesn't start at the same as these core brokers that I've been testing, Handtech and Pepperstone. So if you compare this with AvaTrader and certain other brokers, these lines would actually be sitting over here somewhere, because the 4 hour starts at a different point. It'll maybe start with this 7 hour here. So always base your broker off of Pepperstone or Handtech. Just get a demo of theirs. Okay, there's some good stuff there. I'm sure you could make use of. And any questions, let me know. Any feedback, get in touch. Thanks, traders. Wish you all the best.